Hello, my name is Dominic Underhallhouse and welcome to another episode of Moonbreaker. In this video, we're actually going to be looking at a list that we've only played a few days ago, but it turns out I played it completely wrong. So we're going to try and rectify that a little bit, give it another go, and try and have a little bit more success, especially now that we've got the new changes to the format as well. So the list that we're talking about is the mid-range armor list that we looked at. So it was Caster Brown's list, and he ever so kindly commented on the video and incredibly politely, I'd point out, but pointed out everywhere I went wrong, which it looks like was a significant amount, so for that, I apologise. There have been a couple of changes to this list since we last played it, in that we've got Crosshair, who has actually been nerfed slightly, so she now costs one more, and Taria has one less power. I'm just going to check the audio options. There we go. I was wondering why things are a little quieter than normal. So, we're going to be having a look through this list. It's going to be essentially the same. So last time we looked, it was sort of building up a fortress, building up a defensive position. However, I now understand that what you're supposed to do is build up that same defensive position, but with Quetzalli it's going to be mobile and we're going to be attacking. So we're not actually a defensive list, we're just an offensive list that can make ourselves really hard to deal damage to on the backswing. So I'm looking forward to giving it a go. I'm going to swing into a game straight away. Oh wow, immediate queue as well. And we'll see how this goes. So I will say from the offset, Extilior's the one captain that I don't really feel like an affinity with as much as I do the others. I really enjoy the playstyle of the others. Extilior, it feels like it takes me a little bit more getting used to, so hopefully I can improve this. Ooh, they got that nice animation on their Extilior here. Okay, so we don't have any of the recommended ones here for assist, which is obviously the Vortex and Disruptor. We've got no Corrosive, so I think I'm just going to go Stim Burst and Iron Storm and just try and run straight up the field. Escape Hatch would be good, but we want to get into range. Okay, so we are playing it. We're playing against Caster Brown. He doesn't know I'm recording this, so this will be really entertaining to see when he realizes that I'm playing against. It is an outdated version of his list, but I am still playing against his list. This is actually really funny to me. So I'm just going to chill here, save up some Cinder. We've got the player 2 advantage, and we're going to have 5 Cinder next turn. But yeah, so Castle Brown actually has no idea that I'm playing the list. And it's a completely different version, as in like the game has been updated since the last time we played, so he's probably got a different version as well. And I can see how well we hold our own here. I will, however, be probably pausing this after game 1 and seeing if we can. Oh, actually, I was going to say see if we can message them on Discord, but let's see. So we can go for Rickety and Taria if we want to. I think that's probably the choice. So we'll just pop Rickety down here and Taria down there. And again, I think we're just going to start. We're going to play it safe, I think, for now, because they're going to be running towards us because they've got the range unit, so we kind of need to be in range of that. We're still just going to stay here. Make them come to us if they want to deal damage. We've got this sort of ticking up. Next turn we've got Ion Storm, so when we Ion Storm, at that point I'm happy to start running towards them and try and get some firing positions with these two. So this I don't think has many good angles. But yeah, with Stim Burst as well, I think this is quite a surprise that's going to come out, and we could end up with some really interesting plays here. So they don't know any of our assists, we don't know. There's this, I imagine, is a Beatris probably, if it's coming this close. Because it's a large base, so I'm trying to think what else that would be, but... Oh, it's a Rickety, okay. Interesting. So Rickety's going to die. There's no world in which I'm not going to kill Rickety. It might even be, depending on their... excuse me, depending on their positioning here, I might actually go with... okay. Ooh, that means that we can potentially die on our first attack here. If we can get an angle where we can shoot one of these and stand next to the other with Rickety, that's absolutely what I'm going to do, but I don't know if that's particularly likely. Okay, the 0% hit chance is good. What about over here? No. Okay, so I think what we're going to have to do is use Rickety just in this gap here. So we are going to Stim Burst everything. We will seize initiative on Rickety. It's... in fact, actually, we can Shield of Hope him so that he survives the first one. So what we're going to do is we're going to move into here, And we're actually going to shoot Extilior, I think. Unless we can get a good line of sight over there. No, we can't. So we're going to move here and shoot Extilior. It's a decent chance to hit. Get the explosion. And do we get our second explosion is the question. We got the crit there. We didn't get the second explosion. So that's slightly awkward here. But we can still kill their Rickety. So let's just get into range here. We'll bring Taria back this way just to get a shot onto there. We missed anyway. I think we put this here. Okay, I'm not the most happy with how that went, I'll be honest. But next turn, again, we've got more Cinder. So we can be looking at playing something like Crosshair, or we can maybe play down our Defense Dome and see if we can take down Armour Round with their own list. Excellent, so Maximus doesn't get to move again, which is great for us. It's not in a vulnerable position, we can only really deal 2 damage. But yeah, this was always going to happen. And now they're probably going to move on to us and start attacking, but I feel like that's almost the time that we do the same. So we can go for Defense Dome, Quetzalli, Shrapnel, Chuck and Go. We've got a really good selection of options here. With 7 Cinder, I'm probably thinking maybe Crosshair and Beatris. Especially given that they're now trading damage. It depends on what they... this is going to be their Beatris, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay. So, yeah. I think we are doing Crosshair Beatris, but we're going to place our Beatris blocking their Beatris, and we're going to move our Crosshair maybe somewhere over here. Oh, actually, somewhere over here would mean we get extra safety. Or we could just play Crosshair and attack more. Either way, we're going to need the Cinder, so we don't want to forget this. We can't really kill this, so can we race onto here? I'm kind of unsure where to go from this point. There's sort of multiple options. We can obviously pop Taria down over here to just get the 1 damage. I think they've got much more damage on board, so we're actually just not going to trade damage here. We're going to play Beatris in probably just here, because that should block most of the movement onto us. Yep. And then we're going to play Crosshair at the back. Let's put it in the smoke, because that just gives us as much damage as possible. So I know Armour Round is going to probably have Quetzalli, and that's going to get them all the damage they want onto Extilior. Which I assume... we haven't seen any of their assists. This could be a corrosive turn, and we could be in a lot of trouble. That looks like a corrosive to me. Oh, that's Vortex. Okay. Interesting. And was that their own... Okay, Vortex Ironstorm as well. Interesting. That's not what I was expecting at all. I was expecting maybe even a stun or something like that. Oh, Amplified Vitals in the new version. Okay. Ooh, that crit is going to... That leaves me feeling very vulnerable here. We need to kill a lot of things very quickly. And the fact that they can get onto us here is quite terrifying. Yeah, so we need to find a way to block this. And given that he's going to have Quetzalli... he's going to hit us for another 2 here. Yeah, I think we're very dead. I don't see a world in which we can live here without some serious attempts. However, do we just have possibility of lethal? We've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and they've got 12 life. So I think we do. So if we Sword of Justice first... Yeah. We'll take this attack. But this is fine. We just need to make sure the last thing we do is use our Extilior's attack. Oh, it's already 52%. Of course it is. Come on, get the hit. We missed. So now we're down to relying on nothing. There's nothing we can do. We can Stim Burst, actually. So if we Stim Burst ourselves back here, bring Taria Arsenal in here, I think, to reduce the lines onto stuff. Just take this shot. And we absolutely shield and hope ourselves. Move in here slightly to make it just that little bit more awkward. So, I forgot about the vortex, the ion storm. So there's a... Okay, yeah, so we knew Quetzalli was absolutely a possibility here. I did even mention that previously. I don't think there was a way we could have got out of Quetzalli range of anything. Oh, that's really entertaining. Oh, that's really funny to me. So we're going to try this again. We did try and be a bit more aggressive, but again, someone more experienced with that style of list. I'd argue to the point that they know it pretty well. I'm going to go into another one straight away. I want to keep the video going for the moment, but I'm absolutely going to be messaging Carsten Brown after this and saying, you told me to do these things and now you've beaten me. I feel cheated. It's unfair advantage from the opponent there. The question is it going to be the same again? That looks pretty scary. Okay, so Escape Hatch, Plink, Cinder Infusion. I think Escape Hatch looks good. Poor Creeper. Hang on. I'm not sure if this is the person who messaged on the Reddit. They had there was someone on the Reddit account had a skin or a paint job that looked very similar to that. So that's a very good chance that that's them. Interesting. Because I remember the green sword and the glowing green here. So that might be someone who messaged in response to one of the Reddit posts. So this is obviously the customary Maximus here. However, we're going to try and move over here, and in theory, see if we can block Maximus in place. Or at least partially. So like place him here. There you go, Maximus can't move at all now. So this is really good for us. Beatris is also a great Cinder Infusion target. So they've got their second wind, we've got Cinder Infusion, and next turn we're going to be playing a Defense Dome. So we're going to have, what? Defense Dome and, looking at that, probably Shrapnel or Chuck and Co. Yep, they can't escape. If they shoot this is a mistake. Okay. Yep, that's definitely a mistake on their front. Oh, okay, they're a level 0 player. So they might not be too used to this. They're going to heal themselves with Plink. Yep. And then, what is this going to be? Is this an Orbital? No, it can't be. Disruptor. Oh, okay, maybe they should have done that first. Because now Maximus can move. But is not in range of Torian. Okay, yeah, so that's another issue on that front. We are going to Cinder Infuse our Beatris because the chance of her dying is very slim. Bring out our Escape Hatch. And then, to be honest, I mean, Taria Arsenal and Rickety Backfire would both be really good here. So what if we place them just a little further back? In fact, we'll place them over here. And Taria just over here. There we go. So this is going to be a really good way of getting a big burst of damage out there as well. And now they've got even less damage onto us. It would have been nice if we'd have moved Beatris, but we need to keep Maximus stuck. Because at the moment they can only really damage our Defense Stone with almost anything really. Other stuff only takes one. And we can go for this attack next turn. If they move forwards, we're absolutely going for the Rickety even through Torian. And we probably even go for the Rickety combo and also with Extilior's spin as well. Okay, so this is fine. We wish we were in the defensive section. We'd have taken 2 less damage here, and it would also kept us with some Cinder. But again, if they attack, that's a mistake on their part rather. Okay, so they can just go for this. The Plink doesn't do anything. It's the rock, so that's one of the... could find some copper ore in there, some titanium. Right, what's our opponent going to do? Are they going to shoot Maximus again? Okay, they're just hoping for the crit in exchange for losing their character. And we've got defense buff onto our defense dome. That's a pretty good option there. Okay, so Beatris is going to move back into just being in defensive positions. And we can just move these units up slightly. Oh, didn't realise that was where we're looking. Let's move the defense dome back here slightly. Give Taria, that's still 0%. So we'll move Extilior this way. We're not going to go in quite yet. We're going to... It's only minus 50 from that, so why is it still so big? Oh well, can't get anything. So I guess in this case, given that they've got 2 units there, could go Quetzalli. I think we just go for Shrapnel over here and just try and keep range damage going. So we've not got the armor over here, but we're just fairly safe. Yep, Disruptor, do what you like. You can kill our Beatris. Because they can deal 1, 2, 3, 4 damage total. So this is going to be a lot of their whole turn basically spent on killing Beatris. It does deny us a Cinder as well from the infusion. And depending on where they place it, if they spin, they're going to hurt their own unit. Yeah, that's the wrong ordering as well. Okay, the crit's useful. But yeah, I quite like them spinning here. Plink doesn't work. I do feel sorry for the opponent, because I've done that plenty of times. You always forget that Plink is affected by armor as well. So when you're new, that's absolutely the case. So they need to play their Sword of Justice here to even have a chance at killing Beatris this turn. Otherwise, we're going to run away. Okay, they've got their defense dome now. So that's going to be what we're going to try and kill. And there's a very good chance we just go for that straight away here. So we're going to seize initiative onto Rickety. We will move to here. So we're going to try and just kill the defense dome straight out. Got a crit on that as well. No explosion there. Okay, so that was pretty good. Got some damage on. Let's go here and see if we can just get this damage onto the defense dome. We know Beatris is going to die, so we're just going to go for that additional hit. Perfect. So I wasn't expecting that to survive there anyway, so that works out fine. I think the best option is to just try and kill Crosshair. Not Crosshair, Taurian Guardian. It's a low chance to hit, but we're at the stage now where... There we go, perfect. So we're just going to move up here. We'll move... Taria doesn't have any line of sight at all, so we'll just move that towards Rickety. Defense Dome, bring it to here, and then we're just going to place Shrapnel over here. Okay, so we're in a very dominant position here. Got a very good chance to take them out. And I think, as mentioned in the comment before, this list is working a lot more efficiently when we're being aggressive. Again, we're against a lower level player, but I feel like we've got loads of pressure on here and they don't necessarily. So next turn we can get Quetzalli for free, which is absolutely mad. So we've got 5 out of 6 units at the moment. So we do want to just be being as aggressive as possible. For instance here, there's a very good chance that we can get if we can get Crosshair to hit here, we just kill it. So the awkward part for them is that Taurian doesn't even kill Rickety without a crit, so they're going to have to send both units in. Plink still doesn't do it because of the armor. Again, our poor opponent. This is one of those games where either you haven't quite figured out that that's why that's happening, or you then learn from it and think, well, I'm not going to do that again. So either way, it's quite a disheartening moment sometimes. So again, they can hit here, it won't take any damage. Oh, they got the crit for 2. Okay, so it does take damage on that in that case. Yeah. So our opponents realise that they're kind of a bit stuck there, because critting only dealing 2 damage is a pretty slow burn on that front. And we can go into a third game. So, surprisingly enough, we've lost to the person who created the list. We've won against someone who was a level 0. So, as much as I think these games have gone better, I feel like I've played better than I did in the previous iteration. I don't think it's been the best showing for the list, but that's just the way these things go sometimes. I'm not, as much as I'd like to, I can't afford to sort of sit and spend 2 or 3 hours playing to make sure I get like the best games for each one. It's more just to show like a realistic representation of what's happening in the matchmaking at the moment. Okay, we've got the same opponent again. So let's see what we want to do this time. We're going to go with Stimburst and Escape Hatch. Escape Hatch was great, and Stimburst just gets us to a lot closer, a lot quicker, and we'll see if we can have a bit of fun with this. So, we know roughly what they're going to be playing. We're still going to be moving up early on. Oh, we're going second this time, though. That changes a lot, because that means that we can play some of our bigger drops early on, and so I'm quite likely to be playing a turn 2 Shrapnel. Maybe even a Crosshair. I love Crosshair at the like with the second wind, Crosshair has gone way up in my estimations. So I feel like it might even just be Crosshair. I don't know, because then the turn after we're going to get Defense Dome anyway, and that just makes Shrapnel nearly impossible to kill. So this time, because we're not going first, we're just going to hide back here. We don't need to rush. Maximus can, I don't think, get a line of sight onto us here. And then next turn we can Stim Burst, we can play aggressively, we can move forwards. So depending on what they do, we've got plenty of options here. Yeah, so Maximus can now move out here. Again, I'm not sure if there's a line of sight if they come this way. But looking at our bridge, we've got a good variety of melee and range, so I feel like we're in a position to deal with some of this. So something like Beatris is where I do think Rickety and Taria comes in handy, because that can potentially be 12 damage, which will be reduced by 4, but it's enough to potentially kill a Beatris. So I actually think that's probably what I'm going to do here, rather than go for the same thing as before, or because we're still one turn away from Defense Dome. So split up to 6, maybe even just go for Crosshair and go for the bigger hits, but no, I think Rickety and Taria. But I think what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to move up here, because I want to use Extilior to body block for these two. Because next turn we're going to have Defense Dome for free, we're going to have 4 Cinder and Stim Burst, and so what I'm going to be able to do is use 2 Cinder on Rapid Fire and 2 on Beatris. So this could be maybe a Disruptor? Yeah, Disruptor to push them closer. So Beatris is actually going to be able to hit all 3 of us here. That's really good. That's awesome for them. It does mean that we've got a really solid chance. What's this? Is this Vortex? Have they got Disruptor Vortex this time? Or Orbital, maybe? I'm not sure what this is. Ion Storm. Okay. Sweet. That's pretty cool. So here we're going to have to be a lot more defensive. We are going to have our Defense Dome back, so we can basically spread these guys out, so it's really hard for them to get 2 of them hit. Sorry about that. So we can move quite a long distance and work things out from there. So, what do we want to play? Do we want to Beatris? Do we want to Rickety? Do we want to... How do we want to go about this? I think, given how far away they've put things, if we just Stim Burst ourselves over here, we'll just change our game plan to just being this sort of direction. In fact, you might as well shoot in case you get 0% chance anyway. So we'll come over here and hide out. I think we just escape hatch here. Just get ourselves that Defense Dome down. And then, to be honest, I kind of just think one of our armoured units is probably going to be Shrapnel here, and we'll pop Shrapnel over this side. Oh, we have got a ranged attack somewhere. Oh, I'm not taking that. I think we take the... no, because that's going to hit Defense Dome, so we actually want to move here slightly. And then, I think for now we don't actually hit. I think this is the right choice. I think we want to not hit, because we don't want to take 2 back yet, and try and deal with this in a couple of different ways. So this shouldn't do any damage, unless they crit. Yep, that's perfect, so that's what we wanted out of Maximus. If they move Extilior forwards, that's when we're going to go for the Rickety Taria combo and try and take out Beatris that way. So again, they can only hit one of these, and Extilior's the only one that will take damage. It will just hit the Defense Dome as well. And then here we should be able to do 1, 2, 3, 4, so we're still slightly short of killing them here. We do have 2 additional Cinder next turn, so we can play Quetzalli and just start running towards this. If they deploy another unit here, I actually think maybe we play Quetzalli about here and just do Rickety Taria. Oh no, because we're 1 Cinder short. We'll be one cinder short of that. So this is going to be an interesting game to play out, because it's just a case of I don't know how we get to the point where we are going to have enough damage to finish them off. Florio Lancer, interesting. So if we could play Quetzalli and Rapid Fire, I'd be doing that this turn, without a doubt. But I do think that we're in a position where Rickety Backfire is not going to live, so we need to do something with it. And I think that something is going to be play Quetzalli and running towards Florio Lancer. So we're going to move over here. Move over here. Get this first shot off. And hopefully we get both. There we go. So we got a bit of damage onto that. It wasn't the most, but it will do. Take a bit of damage onto Maximus there. Might as well pop for the one pot shot over there. Our defense dome can actually move over to here. We can... Like, we're in quite an awkward spot, to be honest. How many movements have we got left on here? 3 remaining, so I think we just go 1, 2, and then let's go with here and try and go with the crit. It wasn't a crit, but then we shield of hope ourselves. So this puts Florio, their only good shot is over here, but 2 of the 3 units get defended. So we only really take 2 on 2 of them, and I don't really care about health on Quetzalli. Defense Dome is awkward, but at the moment it's not really protecting anything, so there's not a good option for them here. I'm kind of happy if they do spend it, because I'd rather them spend their Cinder on that. Yeah, so they could just be running at Quetzalli here. Maximus shouldn't be able to deal any damage anywhere other than Extilior, really. Again, this is only going to do 2. And, yeah. So they're doing damage to things, but it's not the things that matter as much, and we've got a bit of damage left. So, Beatris, he's going to be able to move. He's still got his regular move, but there's sorry, not Beatris. There's a good chance Shrapnel can still get in range and shoot him dead. Also, whatever they do here is interesting. Oh, Extilior's not in range. Oh, we blocked. We blocked him with his own unit. Can Florio? Yeah, so they could move Florio and then move, but if they haven't realised that, then that's a bit awkward. Yeah, shield himself up. Okay. So let's Stim Burst. I mean, I don't really know if we need to Stim Burst much of this, but does this get Extilior? No, it's just a big hit. So we'll just go with this. Move slightly back here. This can move to here. I'll move over here and just... I've already moved. Yeah, that's what I saw. The Justice is what we wanted to do. And then we can play our own Beatris Enforcer. Probably just over here as a defensive option versus their Extilior. And we've got nothing else that can attack, so let's just keep Shield of Hoping ourselves here. Oh yeah, I have got this. So let's just pop a range attack down here. Take a shield off. Yeah, this is fine. Just can't defend any more units, so we'll stay there. Okay, this is going well. I do prefer this moving fortress kind of style. I definitely take back, take back the first video. Basically, I didn't play that very well at all. This has been much more of an impactful game. We can get a free Crosshair out next turn, potentially only taking 1 damage, but again, we might even just want to use it. But I think for now, we're probably just going to be trying to take out units as fast as we can. Like that. That needs to die. Okay, so this is going to be where Quetzalli comes in, because I feel like we're now at a point where we have to just start running at them. We don't have much they can really hit. That's a bad choice there, because then now our spin can take that out. And I think what we need to do is use the movement from Quetzalli. So this is just a spin to win. Okay, yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the movement from Quetzalli to basically spread out around the turret, minimise the amount they could get, and just start closing in on the captain at that point. And I think from there, we'd have had a really good chance of finishing up the game. So I want to thank that opponent. I think it's Poor Creeper, they were called. They actually played quite well. I was really impressed in that second game. I don't think we were out of it. I was constantly looking at how many units they had left and how many units we had left. So I think they were in a really good spot. Yeah, well, we were in a really good spot, but they weren't out of it quite yet. But I can understand that feeling of, I don't think I can take it from here, and that's completely fair. This list did a lot better this time round. I think I played it a bit better than I did the first time, and we even got the comedy first game of playing against the person who came up with the list in the first place. So again, another fun list. Give it a go. It's really tough to kill, and you do get to be quite aggressive while doing it. And I quite like that. I actually think that's one of the most fun lists I've had with Extilior so far, so I could definitely see myself playing that again. So if you've liked it, make sure you like the video, pop a comment in there, and hit that subscribe button. We have now hit 100 subscribers, so we're going to be trying to come up with a few fun ideas to sort of celebrate that and make a couple of videos and maybe even a stream on that basis. And other than that, have a good day.